Cowboy. Let's give him a big hand. All right, look at that.
How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man, how are you? Good.
We're doing all
Great.
right.
Great to see you, man. Great to see you. So, how was the day? How's the evening going?
It's going very well. So I actually just did a stream a little bit ago, and we were watching some of the stuff happen at the Whipple building, and
Okay.
it's been getting fun. So I don't know if you heard the reports here in LA. Somebody got shot with non-lethal in the eye, and I think they're losing their eye. But it's just a mess. Like
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
thinking the Insurrection Act is coming in.
Yep. That's what I think. It's time. It's time. I don't know what he's waiting for. Um, I suppose he's waiting for things to get bad enough that it's justified and nobody can second guess him on the decision.
And that might be
But
very well true. So I don't know. Who
yeah.
knows? I'm sure that guy's got a lot going on in his world.
Yeah, he does. He definitely has a lot going on. He's not sleeping on the beach like his predecessor.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting ice cream.
Yeah, exactly. Well, welcome, Cowboy. I am so glad you're here. Looks like we got somebody with us. Odin just showed up.
Awesome. Well, hello.
Yeah. Welcome, buddy. Odin says it's only excuse me. It's only going to get worse, he says.
It's honestly, he's not wrong. Like, I think that it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Yeah. I got to do my own little green screen now that you're doing it.
Yeah, man. Go for it, buddy. It's pretty cool. Can you see the comments too, or just me?
So never mind. Apparently I can't. Oh, here we go. I can actually see your comments as well. So
okay, cool.
We'll go like that. Cool. So awesome. Yeah, so it should all work very well.
There you go. I love it, man. Yeah. That's an awesome background.
Thank you. I don't know if you know what Sic Transit Gloria Mundi actually means, if you've ever heard that statement before.
No, I have no idea. Tell me.
So what it is it's Latin for, and excuse my phrasing if I can't remember, but it's basically the glory of life is fleeting. So what it means is like fame and glory and all that stuff goes away. I know that it's used for a lot of the new people that have come in to become pope, and it's just a reminder of that. So it's to everything you do here is, all for the glory of God, man.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it. Wow. That's awesome. That is awesome. All right, I'm just trying to find the notes that we put together here last night, and man, we got a lot of emails here.
Oh yeah, we've been going back and forth.
Man, where is that? ... All right, Ace, Mr. Dutch, welcome, brother. Hey, I just want to say a couple things about the channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. If you agree, make sure you subscribe. If you disagree, make sure you subscribe. We got 24 people in here. We just need some likes, some jewels. We've got a goal tonight of $25 in gifts. We can do it. We can totally do it. See you later, Mr. Ace. And welcome. Glad you're here. We're going to have a great time. Cowboy's with us. We're going to have a great conversation. And man, we're just going to have a great time. We're going to be talking about ICE, of course, what's going on in Minnesota. Cowboy is actually in Minnesota. I actually grew up in Minnesota. I know the area very well. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy the ride. You're going to really enjoy the conversation tonight. So, hey, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we?
Absolutely. I'm ready to go when you are.
Awesome. So again, this is the Gold Standard. You are live with Weston Gold, and we talk about things that matter here on this channel. And this channel's been around for about 6 months or so. And I had no idea how fast it was going to grow. I mean, man, it's like this channel's growing faster than a wildfire in LA set by a Biden donor. I'm telling you, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. So we're excited about what's going to be happening here. We're basically just trying to save Western civilization because as we can see on the news, Western civilization is being threatened right now. And ground zero for that is Minnesota, which is where we find Cowboy right now. So Cowboy, tell me real quickly, how did you find the channel and what kind of got you interested in kind of watching this? crazy
Honestly,
channel.
Weston, it's just like everybody else. When you do a little doom scrolling on the old shorts there, I ran
Oh, yeah.
across you, found it very interesting, and I watched
Yeah.
for quite a while, and finally
Um,
started interacting with you, and just a lot of viewpoints that I wholly agree with you. Like maybe not
yeah.
100%, which is great. That's what this
Yeah.
country's founded on.
Yeah.
But absolutely,
Absolutely.
it's just the points going on, and you love this country just like the rest of us should.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's really cool. And I'm so glad that you found the channel. I mean, this whole YouTube thing is, it's new, it's crazy, it's different. It's always changing. They're always adding stuff, changing stuff.
Yeah.
It's a really cool format. I mean, the research I've done on YouTube, of course, it's been around, what, 25 years already. But
Oh yeah.
the research I've done on YouTube blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind. I mean, let's see. What did I learn? There's something like 115 million channels on
The
YouTube.
thought of that, like, and I'm gonna chime in. The thought of that is just crazy. Just think
Yeah,
about the amount of information that is stored just from YouTube.
yeah,
Like where all that is
exactly.
housed and stuff. It's amazing. And
Yeah,
this right here is the future of how everything is going to be done.
yeah,
More people come to
exactly.
this platform for news than they go to the
Yeah,
mainstream media news sources now because you can't trust them.
yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. And I forget, I used to have the numbers in my head, but something like only 3 to 4, 5% of all YouTube channels ever get invited into the YouTube Partner Program, which is
Yep.
something that we just celebrated here at the Gold Standard. I know you're working toward that. You'll be there very soon.
And
And that's a high privilege. That's a high honor. And it means super chats, super thanks are all open and unlocked. It means that, you can actually do this and, cover your costs,
oh yeah.
and, actually, get kind of like compensated for the time and energy that you put into this, which can be a lot. I do this 5, 6 times a week at least. I know you're doing it a lot. So it's nice to get a little bit back, but it's all
Yep.
about the goal. Like for me, it's all about my audience, and the
Well,
support that
absolutely.
I
I
get.
100% agree
The,
with you.
the support that I get from my audience, but I'm really amazed that the amount of information on YouTube is just unbelievable. If you sat down and watched every YouTube video for 24/7, it would take you something like 300 years to see every video, something
Well,
crazy
yeah.
like that.
Like I said,
And
is
you
if you look at formats of videos and how much space it actually takes, that's just mind blowing.
Yeah, I'm
It is
like, what kind
completely
of what
mind
kind of
blowing.
servers does Google have,
Exactly.
to house all this information? Just blows my mind. Blows my mind.
Yeah.
So, anyways, speaking of that, uh, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your own journey real quick, and then we're going to dive into ice. But I really want to hear a little bit about your journey. Heard a tiny bit. I mean, obviously we all have our tales of woe. We all have our
Absolutely.
journeys. We all have been through, the highs and the lows. But in particular for you, um, I think there was a turning point for you recently that
There
happened, and
was.
I'd love to hear about it if you wouldn't
So,
mind
and it,
sharing.
it kind of goes back to the beginning, even before that. So,
Yeah.
starting during COVID and all that stuff, seeing all that, I was there for the summer of love, and then I ended up getting
Okay.
COVID myself, and I almost died from it. So I'd
Wow.
spent some time in the hospital from that, and it was really nasty, and recovered from that, and it took a slow process. And then I got knocked down again because at 34 years old, I was diagnosed with diverticulitis, which is, if you've never heard of that, is absolutely awful. It is some of the worst pain that you can ever imagine. So they had me on opiates. So I was on oxycodone for damn near almost a year before I could find a surgeon to help me. So I went through that, and then so recovering from that and that whole thing and that process, and then I went from that to, I spent my first wedding anniversary in the hospital for over a week because I contracted blastomycosis. So that caused permanent damage in my left lung. But what you're referring to, as far as my turning point goes, I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ. So Jesus Christ
Amen.
is my Lord and Savior. He's the King of the Kings and Lord of Lords.
Amen.
So the turning point for me, and I've always been very interested and involved. I've gone to church, whatever else, but I've never fully put myself into it. After we saw the brutal assassination of Charlie Kirk is really, really where it turned.
Yeah.
So seeing that really, really put the forefront of we are truly in spiritual warfare constantly,
Mhm.
and there's a whole lot of stuff going on from there. So, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's it's kind of it's not really an interesting journey, but I've had my jumps. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. That
Yeah.
is amazing. I mean, you're lucky to be alive, you
I
know?
am. So
Yeah.
that's exactly it. And I thank God for that every day. So it was a horrible experience all the way through, and it's been like that for many years. And so
Mhm.
and I'm seeing comment. I'm gonna chime in a second because I can see your
Sure.
comments below. So
Yeah.
Dusty, what you're saying about Kirk literally begged for it, like seriously did, really? That is
Uh,
uncalled for, brother.
yeah.
That is not needed. So and how did I and I'm gonna address a couple of these. So how
Sure.
did I come off of opiates? So my doctor actually said that to me that they would have to wean me off of opiates, and I quit 100% cold turkey.
Wow. Wow.
So that's what I went through. So brutal murder of a woman in Minneapolis. So again, you can't compare the Charlie Kirk thing to the Renee thing.
No.
You can't.
No.
So,
No. I agree. I totally agree. And one of the things I want to do another whole show on, because we're going to keep doing this, by the way, um, is COVID and the truth about COVID. I mean, there's a
yep,
lot there that no one's talking about, no
yep,
one's ever addressed, and I want to address it. And I want to mention to you, I haven't told you this before, but I know someone who in Detroit, Michigan, who
yep.
had a very similar experience to you in a hospital, and went through all the stuff you did and worse, and ended up dying.
Yep.
And his wife wasn't allowed to see him. He had no idea what drugs they were putting him on. They started intubating him, and all this
Mhm.
happened in a matter of a couple of days. And
That's how it went.
he was gone. He went down so fast. And his wife is an advocate and an activist now, trying to trying to get the information out about what happened and about how these hospitals were paid per COVID death. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff there, and the drug that they were using is known to shut down kidney systems and all kinds of stuff. We'll get into that another time, but I just want to
Yep.
say, based on everything I know, based on what I know about anyone who was sick enough with COVID to end up in the hospital, so many of them never came back,
Yep.
never left the hospital. And I think it's a travesty, and somebody needs to be held accountable for that one. But anyways, getting back to kind of this whole journey thing and how you found the channel, and I know you have your own channel as well,
Yep.
which I want to encourage my audience to check Cowboy's channel out.
Thank you.
Definitely, he's such a great guy. I've come to really appreciate Cowboy and his approach and his attitude and his personality. He's very real and very laid back and really honest, honest to a fault. He'll tell you anything that you want to know. He's an open book, and I love
Absolutely.
that
So
about you, Cowboy. I really do.
thank you. I try to address everybody. So I just did a live stream here about an hour ago where I was watching some stuff going on at the Whipple thing. And I did my best to address everybody. Like, I'll take
Yep,
everybody's point of views because I did see
yep,
that somebody literally called us maggots in there. That's great. So I would never call myself 100% MAGA. You should always question the people that are in authority. You should
yeah,
always question it. So,
yeah,
and do it the correct way.
yes,
That's my opinion as an
yeah,
American citizen. Like when it comes to immigration, you're talking about ICE. I
yeah,
think that it should be done the correct way. Like
yeah,
I personally know somebody that works for Border Patrol, and stuff that
yeah,
they go through is pretty scary.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely, yeah. So, Cowboy, I'm kind of curious, with all the stuff that you've experienced and all the stuff in recent times here and the chaos we're experiencing right now in
Yep.
our home state. um you know I really want to hear from you. What was the one issue that really woke you up? Was there one thing that really woke you up and maybe inspired you to get more active on YouTube and be bold and start doing something? Was there one thing
So
that really woke you up?
So I really wouldn't use the term woke. They really branded that horribly. So, but it's just the exactly. It's the
I hear
mishandling of
you.
how this state has been. So most of these people, and I see it in the comments of both sides, because I'm mirroring the stream, like I'm mirroring it to my computer to the next on my own channel, and I can see
Nice.
back and forth there. But it's a lot of the comments I was getting in there is pretty ignorant. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, look at the Leering centers. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
look at what they've been allowed to get away with, and the fact of even the performance of Tim Walz back when he was running for vice president, that was awful. Like,
Yeah.
that was straight made me ashamed that that was my governor.
Yep.
So the fact they've been able to get away with this, and look at Ilhan Omar. Like
Yep.
Ilhan Omar's flat out said that she is for the people of Somalia, not the people of Minnesota. She
Yep.
doesn't care about us.
No. No. Not at all.
Nope.
Not
So it's
at
just a
all.
mishandling of our local government, and
Yep.
it's really made it very me ashamed. And I'm going to address this again here. So
Yep.
somebody said extremism is boring. Let's get back to the middle. Like what? When were we in the middle? Like when is the
Yeah.
last time? So when I watched the
Right.
city of
Good point.
Minneapolis burning, and zero, I'm proud of some of the things that Trump does. I don't agree with everything 100%. I read
Yeah.
into it and I look into it. So
Yeah.
that's the big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Now, what I expected you didn't give me the answer that I was expecting. I thought for sure, and you kind of touched on it earlier,
Yeah.
but I thought for sure you were going to talk about Charlie Kirk.
So, and it's that it all plays into it. So
Yeah,
you got to remember is looking back, like even the first summer of love, this
yeah,
goes back as far as that is
yeah,
seeing how people acted during that time was really, really awful.
yeah.
And the way we treat each other, there is no the middle anymore.
No,
It seems like we're demonized by our own views. Like I say
yeah,
something and look at your comments. We get
yeah,
called stupid. We get death
yeah,
threats. We get all this and that. This is America. Like we have our First Amendment. We have the ability to go out online and say what we speak. We are
yeah,
not an authoritarian nation. Look at what's happening to the people of Iran. Look
yeah,
at what's happening to the people of Venezuela before we came in and got rid of an actual dictator.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
So,
Have you seen the meme? Um, Man, there's such good memes now. There's a meme and it's kind of animated. I don't know how they must use AI or something,
oh yeah, absolutely.
but it's animated and it's got somebody holding up a sign that says, "No more dictators. We hate dictators." And then there's another lady, of course, standing next to her with another sign that says, "Unless they're socialist drug cartel tyrants who push
Absolutely.
drugs and human trafficking."
People 100% are going nuts. But I also am one of those people. Like you might call me a conspiracy theorist, but some of this
Yeah,
stuff feels manufactured. Like some of this
yeah,
is there are powers at bay, and like I touched on before, is there is spiritual warfare every single day.
yes,
So that
yes,
is the big thing is we see evil and we
yeah,
don't address it. And that was the Charlie Kirk thing. The moment that you
yeah,
seen that man's life force leave his body was
yeah,
truly something devastating and evil to happen to this nation.
yeah. Can we
And I'm
talk
not
about that? Yeah,
hold on.
go
I'm
ahead.
not. One more comment. So, for
Yeah,
the people that are going to obviously say that I'm using that as the point of contention, there are
yeah,
many acts of evil that happen every single day. Like, unfortunately, that one was politicized. Like, it was in our faces and it was all over the place.
yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't hold one account over more. So Charlie Kirk was awful, yes, but he was also a figurehead that a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
watched and a lot of people admired. And ever
Yeah.
since then, honestly, I haven't seen any turning point stuff anymore.
Mm, mm,
So,
mm,
no.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember exactly where I was when it happened. Um, and I I was so devastated. I was actually at my other job,
Yeah.
and I couldn't do anything about it because I was doing my job,
Yeah.
and I kept thinking to myself, "This can't be real." I mean, and I'll be honest with you, um, I still
Oh,
have
man,
not.
I address comments. It's a
Yeah,
horrible, annoying thing. But
yeah.
I did not say that Charlie Kirk is awful. I said that the event was awful. Let's make
Oh,
sure
okay,
that's clear and
okay,
correct.
yeah.
So,
Thank you for
and I'm
clarifying that. Yeah.
yeah. So I wasn't saying that Charlie was awful.
No. So anyways, I couldn't do anything about it and I never saw the video and I haven't sent I've never seen the
I don't
video.
honestly suggest it. It is probably
Yeah.
one of the most awful things you will ever see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is true evil incarnate when you see that. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like the gal that got stabbed on that train. It's when you watch that in the absolute horror that there are people that are all over the place, and there was
Yeah.
no outrage on that.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
No,
Yeah. So I don't know what this person's saying talking with a guy who was recently laughing about a killing. I don't I don't know what they're talking about.
not one of us
Um
laugh about this, and I
I didn't
totally disagree.
I
Like
haven't
the
laughed
Renee
about
thing shouldn't
any
happen.
I haven't laughed about any killing. So if somebody thinks I laughed about a killing, they misunderstood what I was laughing about.
Yep.
Because I don't laugh about stuff like that. But Yeah. Do you not recall? No, I don't recall. I don't know what you're talking about. So
No,
enlighten
it's
me.
death is never something that should be laughed at like that.
No,
That is completely awful, and in no place should that be
no,
acceptable. The
no.
fact that people made fun of Charlie Kirk's assassination,
Exactly.
that's awful. That
Yeah.
is the definition of you are evil, like straight
Exactly.
evil, and that
Yeah.
bothers me.
Yeah. Exactly. I totally agree. Um. Yeah. It's just it's awful. It's that whole thing really shocked me to the core.
Yep.
Somebody very close to me actually works for Turning Point,
Huh.
and so I was devastated and I was shocked. And when I first got the word, um, I since I hadn't seen the video and I couldn't really look into it because I was working, um, I was, your brain just naturally, I guess, does this where you're like, it can't be true. It can't be true.
Yeah.
He's gonna be fine. He's because I didn't know anything about the where
Yep.
he was shot or anything about how brutal it was. So I just thought, oh, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna make it. And I just kept telling myself that. And I just kept praying, and I just kept believing that
Absolutely.
this man is gonna be okay. And the next thing I heard was that he was taken to the hospital. And I thought, oh, you know what? He's gonna be fine. This can't happen. Like I was just in total denial. Um, so we are Charlie Kirk. Yes, Wasp
Yeah.
301. We
I
are
actually
Charlie
I
Kirk.
actually have my wristband on that says we are Charlie Kirk. So
Wow,
I'm Charlie
that's
Kirk.
so cool,
So
man.
I've been
I'm
wearing that for
jealous.
a while.
I want
So
one of those. I want one of
yeah,
those. Well, and I mean, now that we've had a little bit of time, I mean, that memorial blew my
it was beautiful.
mind. I mean, the number of people that showed up, I forget how many millions. I mean, that was historic.
Yep.
That was a historic memorial.
It truly was.
And I read something about how the lead musician who led the worship, Chris Tomlin, um, you know, because everything happened so
20
fast.
million. So somebody commented 20
Go ahead.
million. And
Oh,
then
20 million, 20 million
yeah,
people.
then to
That's
adjust that. So
now was that total that tuned in, or there were,
it was probably all together, but
yeah, all
so somebody
together.
did
Yeah.
pose a question to us, and this is actually a really good question, Weston.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So somebody said a question to both of you, yes or no qualifiers. Can a
Yeah.
Christian use violence in order to create peaceful times? And
Mm,
forgive me because I do not remember the verse and where it comes
yeah.
from in the book, but Jesus Christ said himself that if you don't have a sword to sell your cloak and buy one.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ
Yeah.
warned that in his time of coming back that we would be persecuted and we
Hmm.
would be brutalized over this. And look, and I
Yeah.
don't say that's happening here in the United States, but look at Nigeria and look at all
Yeah.
these places that Christians are truly being murdered. So
Yep. They
yes,
are.
violence
Yeah.
can be used in order to cause peace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in my opinion, that's
Yep.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, totally. Totally. And that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one.
Yep.
Um, and we'd have to unpack that one a little bit.
Oh,
Because there's different nuances and aspects of
yeah.
what could be meant by that.
True.
There's so many different scenarios, like, do I have the
Mhm.
right to defend myself if I'm physically attacked? And a lot of people say, well, Jesus said turn the other cheek. Well, you know yeah, but I don't think he meant that we don't have the right to defend ourselves. I think he was making a little bit of a different point there.
Yep.
um, but be that as it may, we live in a country where we have law and order, and we have freedom of religion,
We do.
and we have so many rights that were given to us by God and proclaimed by our founding fathers, and those are what we need to uphold and stand for. And we have a government that is there to maintain laws, make laws, maintain laws, protect rights of people. And so maybe this is a good segue into what's going on in Minneapolis with ICE
Yep.
and so on. Cowboy, I want to hear from you. So you're in Minnesota, and I grew up there. So this is our home state. This is our home state.
Yep.
And I want to hear from you. What do you think is going on right now? What's behind what we're seeing? and where do you see it going?
So the fact that not Walls, but Small Fry, our wonderful mayor of Minneapolis, come out and said that he was going to use the 600 police officers that are in Minneapolis to combat ICE. I don't agree with that. I think that the fact that you want to activate military to go against your federal government, at the end of the day, we're a constitutional republic. We all fall under the federal government. So yes, Walls is the commander in chief of our National Guard until our president says otherwise.
Mhm.
Um, and again, it drives me nuts because the comments I try to address everything. And the one of the funny things is your hat. I love it because
Yeah.
of how many people get triggered by the fact that
Oh
it's
yeah.
satin.
Oh yeah, man. Oh
Yep.
yeah, they do. They do. And that's why I wear it because it's fun. It's fun and you either get it or you don't.
Yep.
But it's called a sense of humor. It's called tongue in cheek. It's called satire.
Yep.
And as I say on my show all the time, um, the left has lost their sense of humor,
They
and
have. They absolutely have. Like
that's
again,
sad.
it falls into the fact that how split we are is united we stand, divided we fall. And unfortunately, right now we are so divided on absolutely everything. I
Yeah.
did a poll on my stuff before about supporting ICE and that, and it can damn near be a draw, fifty
Yeah.
fifty.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. In fact, we should do a poll here. Let's see. How do I do it though?
I don't know how to do that
Mm,
in the collaboration thing, so
Yeah,
I
we
have
may
no
not
idea.
be
This is the
able
first time
to
I've
on
ever done
this one.
this.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, because
yep.
I'm not seeing the little plus sign, so they may not allow
So
us to do it. That's okay though.
Crystal, what do you mean by that? The Second Amendment does allow for an organized armed force. It does. So that
Mm,
is the militia. That's not the
yeah.
National Guard. In the
Right.
Second Amendment, they are talking about a citizen militia, not a state militia.
Right. Right.
So and I hate when people make comments like that because now the thing that scares me is there's more people out there that are sharing stuff about how to commit acts of violence and this and that. It is pretty scary.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
It is. And by the way, if you want us to read one of your questions or comments live on the show, super chats are the way to go. You might get lucky and we might pick one anyways, but if you want to
I'm
guarantee that,
horrible about that. I
yeah,
try to
yeah, no,
point
no,
out
no, no,
people
and
like
you're fine. You're fine. You can do anything you want, cowboy. But if you really want to make sure your comment gets read or your question gets addressed, super chats are the way to go. And by the way, if the gold standard has brought you value, clarity, encouragement, or perspective, then hey, Jules, gifts, super thanks are the way that you keep this channel alive. You keep us living and breathing, keep the lights on. We have a goal tonight of $25. It just basically just keeps us going. That's what it does. It keeps this channel going. So appreciate all the support, appreciate the love, um, and appreciate the jewels. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure
yep.
you like, share this video because I think this is an interesting conversation. It's going to get more interesting as we go along. So, what do you think, Cowboy? What caused all this? I mean, how did this all get started in Minnesota, of all places,
That,
um, with
that's a crazy
ICE
question.
and the chaos? I mean, I saw the stuff on TV tonight, and I'm like, this is a full blown riot.
It is like it is. Last night they literally tore a safe out of the back of one of these ICE
Yep,
vehicles that contained
yep,
weapons.
yep,
It had personal information of these people, which they doxed on there.
yep.
I don't know what caused it, to be honest. It shocks me and it saddens me that our state is in this shape.
Hmm.
The big thing too is like, and it could be drawn attention away from the Somali Gate,
Yeah,
which is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to phrase it Somali Gate.
yeah,
$9
I love
billion
that.
missing to the Learing centers.
Yep, yep,
Like that's
exactly.
not a small amount.
No,
Uh,
that's
but
not
I
a
don't know.
that's not a Somali amount.
That's not a Somali amount. I like that. So that was a good one.
Do you see what I did
Um,
there?
but
Did you see what I did there?
I've seen it.
Yeah.
So no, but I honestly I don't know what the trigger point was. And on my own thing here, so somebody commented on mine.
Mm,
Jonathan Ross for over 10 years has been responsible to teach a position a lane in front of or within a lane. They're talking about stepping in front of Renee's vehicle. As we all seen the video, he circled around the vehicle. He was recording it because he's already dealt with this before.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
shot 4 people in the last 2 weeks. Okay. So Renee's could have been avoided. I will give that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Crystal this. Renee's could have been avoided on all fronts. I don't
Yeah.
agree with the officer. I don't agree with her. Like
Mhm.
there's a lot that happens in the span of 2 seconds. The other
Mhm.
two in Portland, we addressed those. Those two belong to
Oh,
a gang. They
yeah,
were gang
exactly.
members and they
Yeah.
threatened ICE and they did whatever else. So
Yep.
the other one, if you're referring to the guy that just got shot in the eye with less than lethal, they're
Oh,
rioting, right? They're
yeah.
using less lethal. They're putting themselves in that position.
Yeah.
Yes, we have the right to protest, but we don't have the right to go burn shit and excuse my
Yeah.
language, I'm sorry. We don't have the
No, you're
right to
fine.
go and do all that stuff.
Yeah. No, no, exactly not.
Yep.
And this is where I don't understand where these people are getting some of these ideas. And
And that's half of them don't know what they're even protesting about. You were on my
no,
live with me when we watched them carrying random signs of just random BS, and they don't know what they're doing.
yep,
They're going into this crowd mentality, just like the summer of love. All
yep,
it took was, and we don't know if he was engaged or whatever else, but he broke that window and it literally started the whole mess.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
funded by somebody. They're getting their ideas, they're getting all this stuff we don't know.
yeah, exactly. Um, for sure, for sure. And of course, I understand that the trigger point was Renee Good.
Yeah.
But and that
But
was
they were already here following them around at that point.
yeah,
So that's the thing. They're
they
already
were
doing it.
already stalking them. They were already harassing them.
But that
Um,
did create the surge because I think at this point we have well over 2,000 federal officers in our state, which
yeah,
is crazy.
yeah. Here's a good comment. I hope Trump sends the troops to Canada to free us.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I seen a comment the other day in West. You'll laugh about this. So I seen this
Yeah.
on there. Somebody made a post on Facebook saying, "Canada, please take Minnesota." I'm like, nah, I don't
Yeah.
want to go to Canada. They got it
Yeah.
way
I
worse than
know.
us.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Yeah, so you think they're being funded. Um what makes you think that?
There was a clip from, unless it was being facetious, but there was a clip that a Fox News reporter caught saying, "Don't you have a job? I'm getting
Yeah.
paid to be here."
Yeah.
So I wish we could share
I saw
videos
that.
on the vertical and stuff, and maybe we can touch on that sometime on an
Yeah.
actual stream. But yeah, when you make comments like that, and it's like pretty blatant there. It's
Yeah.
like during the summer of love, who placed the
Yeah.
books there? Where did those come
Yeah.
from?
Exactly. Exactly. Yep. Trump Nation, Trump Nation. All right. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I'm just looking for my notes here on where did that go? Where did that go? Oh, here it is. Here it is. So speaking of funding,
Yep.
um, we have it on good authority that these people are being paid. They're paid agitators. They come in from out of town. We've seen this act before. We've seen it's the same playbook. We've seen it in other cities. They come in. Um, Antifa obviously is coming in there now. So the thing that's interesting to me now is you have at least two different groups of people. You
Yep.
have uh the ice moms, the minivan moms,
Yep.
right? Who they they sincerely believe that there's an injustice, and they sincerely believe that by blowing their whistle or by getting their car in the way or by yelling and screaming, that they're going to make a difference. And they see it as sort of like this justice warrior thing. But the wife of Renee Good can be heard yelling
Drive,
right
baby,
after.
drive.
Well, that and why did you use real bullets?
Oh, I did
She
hear that. So I
she
did
was
hear that.
horrified. She was horrified when it happened, and she didn't think they would have real bullets. So these are the what I would call the naive, and I love them. I have friends in Minnesota that are like this, that are friends of mine, and I'm not criticizing them. I'm saying they are obviously misinformed, and they are well-meaning. I
Yep.
believe they're well-meaning. They honestly believe that ICE are the bad guys, that they're very brutal, bad thugs, guys that are kidnapping people, going door to door. So they're being told by the governor that ICE is bad, that you gotta use your phone and record them and all this stuff. So I think they're the sincere but naive justice warriors. Okay.
Yep.
But I think they're being used by somebody higher up, right? And what good fortune for them that they've been able to convince these regular middle-aged white moms that they need to go out in the streets and do something. I mean, but what's sad to me is that they're being used and literally
They
as human
actually
shields.
Weston, they actually have training classes about this. They
Yes.
have people out there
Yes.
training people how to follow ICE and how to follow border patrol and stuff. You are literally impeding federal officers because the ones
Yeah.
that are saying that they're not law enforcement are very wrong. And they can detain, they can arrest. If they see a crime in progress, they can do whatever they need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have
Yep.
the full power of law enforcement, full power of
Yep.
the federal government. Now, and then I think there's another level, at least one other level. There's probably two more levels of people, right? That are I don't know what's in their mind. I can't figure out what's in their mind, but they are the violent, serious ones. They're the ones dressed in black. They're the ones, smashing the cars, taking the gun safes out of the cars, doxing them, attacking them. They're the true Antifa types.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether they're part of Antifa or not, they're the true soldiers.
Yep.
You know, and they're probably the ones being funded. The ICE moms, um, some of them might be paid, but most of them I think are just, hey, I'm doing this for the
Yep.
cause because I believe in the cause. And then there's the others that are being paid, and they're the dangerous ones. They're the ones that
Absolutely.
they're coming in from other places. They've been trained by Antifa. They know exactly what they're doing. They have the equipment. They're well funded, and they're the ones with the fireworks and all this stuff. And we got to figure out who's funding them.
Absolutely, but honestly, as normal people, I do not think that we're ever gonna figure this out. So
No.
it's so buried that I highly doubt it. So, and I was just reading here, keep saying Antifa, you're not anti-fascist. So, when it comes to Antifa and the way that they operate, it's actually more fascist than not. When
Yeah.
you fear and intimidate people through that,
Yeah.
that is fascism.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly
what
right.
our officers are doing are literally defending themselves and what they're doing. So keep impeding ICE. Like they
Yeah.
don't do that. You are putting yourself in very bad positions. It's like trying to drive away from a traffic stop. Try
Yeah.
it. See what happens.
No. And like I always say, I'm like, if you get pulled over by a police officer, most everybody that I know, including myself, knows that if whatever the police officer tells you to do, you do.
Yep.
If they
Absolutely.
tell you to get out of the car, you get out of the car. If they tell you license and registration, you give them your license and registration. Now I know what they say is, well, they're not police, they're not cops. Well,
Yep.
yes, they are.
Oh,
Yes, they are.
absolutely they are.
Yeah,
So I know, like I said, I've got friends that do this stuff for a living, and yes,
yeah,
they are police. They
yeah.
are federal law enforcement, and the they have the justification of the federal government behind them. So they
Absolutely.
can arrest, they can detain, they can do whatever they need to do. And
Yep.
to break off into the whole ICE thing is the people that think that we are, against immigration. I'm not.
No,
Immigrate the correct way. Like go through a port of
exactly.
entry.
Exactly.
Look what most people's families came through Ellis Island. They changed names. They did all sorts of crazy
Mhm.
stuff.
That's
We're
right.
so quick to forget that kind of stuff. It's the ones
Exactly.
that come across this border. You have no business being here because we don't know who you are. We can't vet you. We can't do any of that stuff. That's what this is about.
Yeah,
And unfortunately,
exactly.
this has been made ground zero because people are fighting them.
Yeah. Well, just remember that when Joe Biden auto pen was making you get the shot and forcing you to wear a
I never
mask.
got it. Trust me, I
I
never
know.
got it.
No, I never did either, but he was trying.
Oh yeah.
And they tried really hard to make the rest of us, right? Ordinary
Yep.
American folks, no matter what we did, no matter where we went, what we did, what job, what venue we wanted to attend, a concert or whatever, we had to get the shot or prove whatever, right?
Yep.
But if you wanted to come in the country illegally from another country, um, we didn't require that. We didn't
Yep.
require any of that. So that's what infuriates me. We as the American citizens were forced to do something, right?
Yep.
That people that we have no idea who they are, where they're coming from, and anything about them. Are you healthy? Are you carrying a disease? We don't know. Do you have a criminal
That's
record? We don't
exactly it.
know.
We don't know any of that stuff. A lot of
We
these
don't know
people don't even
anything
have
about
records
you.
where they're from.
And they're like, come on in. Come on in. Well, are you going to make them wear a mask at least when they cross the border? I mean, come on.
I,
I had to wear a
I
mask just to go to a concert in my own
What a
country.
horrible time to think about. I'm just thinking about all the people even protesting are still wearing masks. That was
Yeah.
awful. That was
Yeah.
some of the
Well,
worst times.
here's the thing that's fascinating to me. And I haven't heard anybody really talk about this. But what's fascinating to me is that the mask, the COVID mask, has become a political symbol,
Yeah, I can
right?
see it.
It's
Oh, and
just
that's actually bringing the mask too is you're getting me going here. You're getting me all fired up. So
yes,
I've just seen in the comments here people that complain about ICE agents and CPB agents wearing masks
yeah,
to
yeah,
basically hide their identities. What are you guys doing?
exactly,
Why are you wearing masks during this time?
exactly, exactly. This is the
That's
double standard. This is the hypocrisy again and again and again. But I'm fascinated by people. I was always fascinated by people that would wear a mask during
you
COVID in their car with their
by
the only per,
themselves.
the only person in the car with their windows up. Okay, that
Hmm.
that still baffles me. Still baffles me. Okay, and now I feel like when I see someone with a mask, a COVID mask, I ask
Yep.
myself two questions. One of two questions. I say either they're really sick or they're a germaphobe and they're really
Yep.
worried about getting sick, or they're making a political statement. They're
Yep.
letting it's like wearing a MAGA hat. They're letting everyone around them know I'm a Democrat,
Yep.
right?
That could be. I mean, some people do, and like I said in the comments, you wear a mask because of TB. Like that's understandable. There are people that should do that, but you know,
Yeah, but I never saw this many people wearing masks before
no,
COVID. So
no.
what
So
changed?
I have no idea because, and the funny thing is, you see it a lot in places like China
Yeah,
where they weren't there, but they had to worry about SARS. And I remember all
yeah,
this stuff, like
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, for
crazy to
sure.
think about, honestly. Fear
Yeah,
germs, yeah.
yeah. But I never saw people wear masks before COVID. And
Yep.
then now that COVID's over, there's so many people still wearing masks. I'm like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Did you not get the memo that COVID is over?
Yep.
Or and if you're wearing a mask, can I assume that if you're that religious about wearing a mask, that you got the shot? And so if you got the shot, I thought you were good. Why are
Yep.
you worried about wearing a mask? What are you worried about? I mean, there's just so much there. There's just so much there that
You could go
we
on
could
and
go
on about this
forever.
kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
then that's exactly it. So it's
Yeah.
either way, it is what it is now. So,
Yeah.
and fire,
Yeah.
why are you here? You have every right to swipe away. You just keep making
Yeah.
comments, but you could swipe away at any time, friend. Anytime.
Exactly. Exactly. And if someone's holding a gun to your head to watch this, let me
Yep.
know. We can call 911 for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly. Type it in
No
the chat.
problem. Let me know.
So,
Hey, speaking of Antifa, highly recommend this book right here. If you guys, and sorry it's backwards, but this is. Do you guys know this guy, Andy? No, he is the leading foremost expert on Antifa.
yep,
His story is unbelievable. I think he started out in Portland. Um, he's Asian. I think he's not sure if he's Vietnamese or Korean. I forget which, but he started documenting Antifa in Portland way back when, and he was attacked and he almost died. He tells the story in this book, and then he also um, tells you a lot about Antifa that nobody knows about.
yep,
And I have another book on Antifa that I can recommend too, by Jack Posobiec, that's really really good. And he gives the history of it, where because Antifa started in Weimar, Germany, and there's a huge Antifa contingent in Germany, still to this day. That's where it
yep.
started, and
I didn't know.
it's very fascinating because, like you said, Cowboy, when they say anti-fascist, that's not what they are. That's not
Yep,
at all what they are. But that's the mantra that's the umbrella that they march under. But they They are an evil organization, and I'm so thankful that President Trump designated them as a domestic and international terrorist organization, which means that if they catch you, you're in trouble.
Yep. So, and then the funny thing is that we're talking about Germany and stuff like that. What I was really seeing is in everybody that's calling their ICE officers Nazis and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, and I'll even ask your chat too, is
Yeah,
what were the Nazis? What were they?
yeah,
They weren't
yeah.
fascists.
No,
So absolutely not. The only fascist I think that was happening during World War II
yeah,
was Italy. I
yeah,
think Italy was the only ones that were
yeah,
truly fascist.
yeah. Mussolini. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Because what was Germany called during that time? Does anybody know? Here's a little trivia for you. What was Germany? What was the nation of Germany called under the Nazi/Hitler occupation? Who knows?
I can't remember formally. Like, I don't remember.
Anybody in the chat know?
Well, the West Germany thing that happened after
Yeah, that was
after the
after
fall of
World War
Germany.
II. Yeah,
So
that
that
was
was the
after.
Cold War.
Yeah, yeah.
Rhineland?
Um,
Was it Rhineland?
no, well, that was kind
That's the
of.
one that's coming. I'm paying attention to both my chats, so if people are
Yeah, yeah,
watching on
yeah,
my
yeah,
side,
yeah,
I'm sorry if
yeah,
I've been ignoring you guys, but we're having a conversation.
yeah. I'm gonna find it here. Um,
Hitland, that's funny right there. Actually,
here it
that's pretty
is.
good.
Here it is. It was basically called uh, the Socialist Republic of Germany.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Um, the the Nazis intentionally branded themselves as socialist. So the Nazis were socialist. They weren't fascist. As
Correct.
to your point. To your point.
Yep. So
Fascinating stuff.
I just you said social. Somebody said that. I'm
Okay,
sorry, we missed
sorry.
that.
Sorry, we missed
So,
it.
and a lot of times, and we see, I love the comments. Are these real
Yeah,
people? And
yeah,
honestly, this is just me and him having a conversation. You
yeah,
guys are chiming in. We're having a good time.
yeah,
This is
exactly.
about learning and different experiences in the world. So,
Yep, yep. And the ruling party was called the National Socialist German Workers' Party.
Crystal,
Uh,
yes,
other,
they were. That is history. That is
otherwise known
absolutely
as
100% history.
the Nationalist Socialist Germany. So everybody calls the Nazis fascists, but they called themselves socialists.
Yep,
So
that's absolutely what it was.
yeah, yeah. So anywho, let's see. Let me pull up some other stuff here to talk about. So I wish we could do a poll in here, but what? Tell me what you think, Cowboy, are the chances of the Insurrection Act, and where do you see this all going? What do you
So,
think's
and
going to
that's
happen?
all going to depend on the future here. I know that
Yeah,
Trump said it was is an option, so he's keeping it open as an option. But with everything being seen and going on here and the agitators that are happening, I don't
mhm,
know. Like
yeah,
we're at a tipping point is what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah,
If it continues to happen, we continue to have unrest, which isn't protesting. It's
mm-hmm,
truly unrest. If we
yeah,
continue to have talks from our governor, talks
yeah,
from the mayor of Minneapolis and that kind of stuff, I honestly don't know. It's part of me really hopes that he does now,
mhm,
but another time, I'm here. I'm from Minnesota. It does worry
yeah,
me a little bit. But
yeah,
they're also going to be focused on the cities, and I'm in the rural. I'm where Tim Walz referred to us as sticks and cows or
yeah,
rocks and
yeah,
cows, whatever it was.
right, right,
So
yeah. No, that's the only safe place to be in Minnesota right now.
it is.
Yeah. Um. Oh wow! Listen to this. I didn't even see this. Can you believe the gall of this guy?
What's up?
I'm just reading a headline here that says Minnesota governor urges Trump to quote turn the temperature down.
Turn the temperature down.
He's telling Trump that.
Eh,
Oh my gosh.
You can't make up half the stuff anymore. You really
No,
can't.
no, no.
So I'm going to
Truth
break
is
in. I'm going to
stranger
say
than
you
fiction.
got 64 people watching right now and only
Yeah,
24 likes. If you guys are actually enjoying the conversation that Wes and I
yeah,
are having, you should
yeah,
drop more likes. So this
yeah,
could become a regular thing where we just talk about random stuff. We could pick things out
yeah.
of your comments and go off on tangents.
No,
I love
definitely.
history just like you do. I've got family
Yeah,
that's pretty much fought in every single war, all that good stuff. Like this is just conversations, different
yeah,
viewpoints.
yeah. Absolutely. And we have a goal tonight of $25 in gifts and 100 jewels. So if you're enjoying this, if you're nodding along and saying, man, these guys are saying exactly what I've been thinking all along, then now's your chance. This is your time. And show us some support because we want to, like Cowboy said, we want to keep doing this because we're having a lot
But
of
what do
fun,
you,
and I
okay,
think
so
people are enjoying it.
what have we done for misinformation here? So defamation, and who have we done defamation against?
Yeah, good
Half
question.
of you people that make comments like that don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, bring the receipts. If you're going to make an accusation, you got to bring the receipts. That's what I say all the
Yeah.
time. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share this video.
Yep.
And for my audience, make sure you check out Cowboy's channel. Um, why don't you give us a quick it's Cowboyarrell, right? You just look up
Yep. Yep.
Cowboyarrell, you
And I
find it.
should be tagged. It should say collaboration on the bottom with whatever channel.
Nice. So easy to
Um,
find.
yeah, absolutely. So, and again, I do a variety of things. This is just a little bit. So I'm
Yeah,
kind of just tipping into YouTube and kind of figure this out. So, and I seen
definitely.
somebody that said we reminded them to dislike. Go ahead. That's what that's there for. Like it, dislike it. That's your right to do so.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
people that keep saying like dumbasses, is that really necessary? That's just rude.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everything that you needed to know in life, you learned in kindergarten. Have you ever heard that before?
I have never heard that before.
Everything you ever needed to know in life, you learned in kindergarten, which means use your manners, please. Don't be
Yep.
rude. Don't be
That's,
rude.
that's all it takes.
All right.
And Gene, I seen that. Actually, I'm one of his moderators, so I've been flying through trying to do a little bit while I can while we're talking. So yeah. So once in a while, it's me and a couple others that do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's see here. Ooh, this is interesting. One of the bloggers, podcasters that I follow, by the way, is somebody by the name of Julie Kelly. I highly recommend Julie Kelly. I commend her to you. She has a Substack
Okay.
newsletter. Sometimes you have to pay for it, sometimes it's free. But she just made this really interesting video. And I haven't watched the video yet. I'll watch it as soon as we're done here, but it's got a very interesting question that she
I'm sorry
poses.
that Thomas just made me laugh, but yeah, keep going. Sorry. I
Hey,
appreciate those kind of comments.
what if I told you that I teach kindergartners?
Ooh.
Ooh. And
Ooh.
my kindergartners are more polite than most of the people on this channel. But Julie Kelly just posed a very interesting question that I want to pose to
Yeah.
you, Cowboy. She said, with the mayhem in Minneapolis, what exactly are they fighting for?
They don't even know that. Weston,
Yeah,
they don't even know that answer.
yeah,
So, like I said, the other night when we were watching that guy get spit literally in his mouth by one
yeah,
of these so-called protesters,
yeah,
half of them, there were kids there that didn't even know what the hell was going on. Like, they
yeah,
truly don't know what they're actually going for. It's a pack
yeah,
mentality.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, all the way. And I wish we could just, walk up to one of them and say, "Can you tell me what you're fighting for? What do you want to see? What do you
Yeah.
want to see different? What do you want to see
Like,
change?" And this
what is
is
the end goal?
what is the end goal? And this is my critique of the No Kings people, which these are a lot. This is a subset of the No Kings people. And that is when you walked up to one of them and asked them, what do you not like about Trump? You say he's a king. Can you
Yeah.
explain what you mean by that? And can you
Yeah.
explain what you would want different? Right.
Yep.
And they literally can't tell you, they
Hmm.
can't explain it.
No, they can't. So again, like I said, it's just a pack mentality. They run in the
Yeah.
crowd. Look at the summer of love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, it's
So,
like a, it's like a excuse to
yep.
burn down buildings and create
And
mayhem.
yeah, exactly it is because you get everybody together. At least right now, I think it's more tempered because it is cooler out. If we were in the heat of summer, it'd
Mhm.
probably be a lot more going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No.
Jimmy, you can't explain breathing to the brain dead. Oh, thanks. So I really appreciate that. Am I dead? I
Yeah.
don't think so. I think
Yeah.
I'm still. I think I'm still breathing, Weston. Am I still alive? Am I still here?
Yeah. Yep, as far as
Okay.
I know, yeah. And when somebody says due process in here, I saw that.
Yep.
Um, explain to me how they're not getting due process.
So that's actually very true, Weston. If you bring that up, is
Yeah,
they do go forward, they do see a judge, they go through
yeah,
that whole system.
yeah.
Most of these people they're picking up have been picked up before. There's a process
Yes,
to it. You
yes,
have to do it correctly because, and most people don't realize, if you are arrested by ICE and
yep,
kicked out of this country, you are barred from applying for citizenship for 2 years. You
yep,
do it again, it's 5 years. You do it for the third time, you are completely
yep,
barred out from it.
yeah. And
So,
these are federal laws in the criminal code, punishable by prison time.
yep,
Yeah. And
absolutely.
the other thing that really gets me is when people say immigration violation is a civil matter.
It's not. You talk to Here's the thing. You talk to any of these guys. Greg Bovino, the
Yeah.
commander of one of the
Yeah.
sectors, border
Yeah.
patrol that's been doing all these operations,
Yeah.
flat out said that to I think she was a lawyer, whatever she was, said,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is a civil matter," and he cited the criminal code to her, and it is a federal deal.
Exactly. Yep. And a lot of people don't understand. Okay, so I'm going to explain it to you. When it comes to minor offenses, like if I overstay my visa, like if I'm
Yep,
here on a visa from another country and I stay longer than my visa had for me, right? Like it expired and I overstay my visa, that is a civil matter.
yep,
If I'm an immigrant from another country, I'm in the United States and I lose my immigration status, that is a civil matter.
yep.
If I'm in the country and I'm not supposed to be, I'm just here and I don't know how I got here, but I just ended up here and I'm here. My presence being here without status is a civil matter.
Yep.
Now, those are the only quote unquote violate immigration violations that are considered civil. Everything else, including entering the country illegally,
Yep.
okay, including like you said, being removed and coming back is a felony, right?
Yep.
Um, harboring, smuggling, and committing any crime while you're here. If you know if you commit a felony while you're here, obviously that's a crime.
Oh,
And the thing is, the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is that the state of Minnesota and the city of Minneapolis, they have criminals, felons,
yep.
violent criminals that are illegal here illegally. So and another one I just thought of is if you've had final orders. So if you've been ordered to leave the country and it's your
Yep.
final order and you refuse to leave, that's a felony. Um, so anyways, but Minnesota is letting these violent criminals out of jail, back into the neighborhoods,
That
back
was,
into the
yeah, I
public,
did see that. I absolutely
right?
seen that. Yep.
That's what they're doing. And normally in a non-sanctuary city or state, ICE will communicate with those authorities and they'll say, hey, we're going to come and get those guys, hold them for us. We're going to make a peaceful, you know, safe,
Yep.
secure transfer. We're going to pick them up from the jail and we'll deal with them as far as their immigration violations, right? And we'll take it from here. But instead, what Minnesota does is they let these violent, I mean, we're talking about terrible, terrible crimes. They let these people back out onto the streets. So then it's kind of like they're saying, catch me if you can, right? They're saying,
Yep.
we're
They
letting
don't
them
care.
out. We're letting them out, ICE. Good luck trying to go and find them because they just disappeared into the
Yep.
neighborhoods in the community. So
And
now
that
ICE
shows
has to, now
shows
ICE
no
has to
respect
do
for the
these.
law.
Yeah. And now ICE has to perform dangerous missions to go and find these people. And at the same time, deal with all the agitators and protesters that are surrounding them and stalking them at the same time.
Absolutely. And
What?
Kat, I voted for a felon. I'll say it right out. So a lot of that stuff was you know horseshit in my opinion. I
Yeah.
know you don't like the swearing. I'm sorry, but I've got to.
You're fine,
That's
man.
that's my fault. That's my
You're
biggest fault.
you're the only one on my show that's allowed to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've
Because
I've been
why?
paying.
Because you're a cowboy. So
Thank
you're
you.
allowed.
So my wife is sitting next to me laughing about this too, so that's funny. So no, I appreciate this because this is just candid conversation.
Yeah,
So, and it's a
exactly.
point of view that people can. This is our First Amendment. We have the
Yep,
right to do this. Like
yep,
Jimmy, you're saying we're speaking of horse shit. Why? What? Okay, so you people that make these comments,
yeah,
back them up. That's
yeah.
the thing. I will call you out
Where's
all day long. Back it up.
where's your receipts? Where's your receipts? Yeah, and
And
you know
John
what?
Doe talking about Zionism. That's a topic I don't know enough about that I want to touch
Oh,
on. So that's the big thing. I'm sorry.
oh. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
save that one for another time.
Yep.
That's a whole nother can of worms. But I'll just tell you right now, I am a Zionist.
Okay.
So, and simply put, and I'm not going to get into it from here, but simply put, a Zionist is anyone who believes that Jews and Israelites and Israel people have the
Okay.
right have the right to live in their land
And that makes
in
sense now. So you hear
Israel.
that a lot,
That's
the whole Zionism thing, you hear
yeah,
that. In
yeah,
in the Bible, it talks about it being the chosen land anyways, but most
yeah.
people don't realize that all three major religions were founded in that small area of the world.
That's right.
They share
That's
so
right.
much in common. Like if you look at the Torah, and
Hmm.
the Torah is
Hmm.
basically the Old Testament of the Bible.
Yep.
It is crazy on how close that all comes into. I could go on and on. I'm a very
Yep.
big history buff on this kind of
Yeah. No,
stuff.
I love it. Me too, man. That's
Mhm.
what makes this conversation so great because we're both into it. But we'll talk about Zionism another time. But God
Yeah.
bless Israel. God bless the Jews.
Yep.
I just want to say that they have every right to exist. They have every right to their land, which was given back to them in 1948
It
in
was.
a unilateral
Okay, certified.
decision by the United Nations. The United Nations made that decision in
Yep.
1948 to give them back that land. Um, but anyways, let's talk about Iran. Speaking of the Middle
Yep.
East, what do you think's going on there? What's going to happen?
So I don't know, because I know that Trump said the strikes are still on the table, but you're talking
Mhm.
about a group of people that are literally fighting to get rid of a regime that's been under the, holding them down by their throats.
Yeah,
Is you
for
see, and I
47
watched
years.
exactly. I've watched. There was a protester in England that went up on their embassy and tore down that regime's flag and put up the old regime's flag. Those people are freedom fighters.
Yeah,
Like you're
exactly.
talking 10 to 20,000 people that have been gunned down in their streets for
Yep,
saying they want change instead of being under an ayatollah.
yep. Which I've said this before. I'll bring it up again. Um, you and I are both Second Amendment people.
Absolutely.
This is a cautionary tale about what happens when a regime gets into power and their evil regime.
Yep.
What's the first thing they do? They disarm their population. Why? So that the people can't rise up against them. And
And
that's
that
what
happened in
that's
1930 Germany.
that's
Like,
right.
you want to
That's right.
talk about a fascist move? That's a fascist move right there. And
Yeah,
half the time, it's the left that's crying about getting rid of guns on our streets.
exactly.
Like, there is a difference between that kind of violence and I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have
Yeah,
firearms. I love them.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know,
Yeah, and Hitler did it. Look at China. China doesn't allow
oh,
um,
absolutely.
any guns because can you imagine if however many billions of people live in China, I forget the number, all had guns, the CCP would be gone.
Exactly, because and I know people that have been there for work or whatever else. It's a scary place.
Yeah.
Like you want to talk about, they have a term called quick trial. Have you ever heard that?
No, but it doesn't
So
sound good.
it is not good. It's when you are accused or shown guilty to do anything like, I think, drugs or whatever else, and that's a big thing now is marijuana or whatever else. But if you get caught with that in China, they'll take you behind the police station and it's a quick trial.
Yep,
There are
exactly.
places all over the world like that, and it's, you want to talk about freedom.
Yeah,
Like they're under the regime there, and they have been. I mean, Mao, like when during their revolution, killed millions,
yeah,
millions.
yep, yep. And that reminds me, I want to commend another book to everybody. Oh, here it is, right here. Yes, I got it right here. Um, and Cowboy, you got to get this. I mentioned it to you before. It's called Unhumans
Okay.
by Jack Posobiec. I know money's tight right now. Maybe I'll send you a
Yep.
copy, but
Great.
you got to read this. You talk about history. This will blow your mind. This will
Yep.
blow your mind. He talks about Mao. He talks about Stalin, Lenin. He talks about the French Revolution, which, goodness gracious, that was a crazy deal.
Yep.
and we don't teach any of this stuff in school anymore. And the French Revolution was really the first communist revolution.
Yep.
It was the original, before there was such a before we had Marx and Engels, before there was such a thing as Marxism or communism.
Yep.
The French Revolution was the beginning, and Marx and Lenin, in particular, studied the French Revolution and said, there's our model right there. And that's how the Bolsheviks took over what they did. He talks about the Bolsheviks and the Russian Revolution. And the Spanish Revolution is not what people think it was.
Yep.
So you talk about history, you would love this book. I'll try to make sure you get a copy. And if you don't follow Jack Posobiec, definitely check him out. He's got a show called Human Events Daily. And Jack also spoke at Charlie Kirk's memorial. He was the one that got up and said, "Christ is king." I don't know if you remember that guy.
During that time, yeah, I did. So during that time, and again, touching that again, you want to talk about like end times prophecy and that kind of stuff. We are seeing the great revival all over the freaking world right
That's
now.
right. That's right.
And it's not petering out. We can't let it peter out.
Yep.
Jesus Christ is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. It's all for him. And everything you do, that should go first. And the top of my stream, it actually says that whatever you do, do all for the glory of God. 1 Corinthians 10:31.
Love it. Love it. And for those of you who think I'm being like sacrilegious or blasphemous or whatever, Christ is king. Christ is king. Well, yes, Christ is king. Okay. Hey, we got a gift. 6-7. All right, David.
Very
Thank
cool.
you. Thank you. This is all tongue in cheek. There's lots of kings. There's always been kings in the world.
It's unfortunate that most people now don't get satire. They just get triggered.
No,
that's all that's happening is they get triggered.
So just because I say Trump is king doesn't mean I don't believe there's a king of kings. Yep. And that is Jesus Christ. And that reminds me, Cowboy, and then we'll come back to Iran for a second. You mentioned to me in another setting or something that that the Charlie Kirk thing was kind of a turning point for you personally in your faith.
Yes.
Yeah. And I feel like that was a triggering point for you, and it seems like it changed you. It changed you.
Absolutely did. So,
and it brought you back to God. It brought you back to faith, right?
It absolutely did. So here's the thing is we all felt that there were so many strangers all over the world that didn't know who Charlie Kirk was, never watched it, but they seen what happened to him and they felt it. That's the thing. It was so politicized that they did feel it, because what you witnessed was something so evil happening in front of all of our eyes that was celebrated, which shows that there's evil out there. The moment that you invoke the name of God in any of these streams, they come out and they attack us. That's what happens, because when you receive the Holy Spirit, you are anointed. You are going to be attacked by every evil spirit you can imagine.
That's right. That's right. Yep. And it's proof of the spiritual warfare. As soon as you say Jesus Christ and you're not swearing, all of a sudden you see it in the comments. You see the spiritual warfare right here being played out in front of our eyes in the comment section.
Yep.
And it's fine. You know what? Because I always say, just like Charlie Kirk, if you disagree, awesome. I'm glad. Come to the front of the line and grab the microphone and let's talk. Grab yourself a super chat and let's talk. All right.
And you want me so your guy there that said that nobody celebrated, I seen those videos of people going around college campuses that were like, good. They were literally, they did care, but they cared in the wrong way. But again, we politicize one thing and it gets taken out of context. When I use Charlie Kirk, it doesn't mean that I don't remember things like Ashley Babbitt and all these other people that have died along the way. Like even Renee, like she did not need to die. Like I will be the first to say that. But what happens in a split second, it's ridiculous. So, it's
Well, and I know, and I mean, we saw the celebrations all over social media, so you can't deny that they didn't happen. But I also know that one of the most prominent or pervasive groups of people that celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk, you know who they were? Teachers. And I know personal stories of teachers that literally went in front of their class the next day or even the same day and said, "Good, I'm glad he died."
What is that? Right. I mean, there was a teacher that like what you're talking about, and there was people that flooded that school's emails to get rid of that person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, and
So
guess
and there's
what?
so many. Yeah,
And she's the one that went like this in the No Kings rally,
yeah,
right? And she's still employed.
yeah. I don't doubt it. So,
She's still a
I mean,
teacher.
and I'm just looking, scrolling through your comments here, and no, you don't. We address comments as they come in. I'm reading them. Like if you see me looking down, I'm reading your
Mhm.
comments, but I'm also in
Yeah,
the middle of a conversation listening.
right,
So it's
right.
not that you're paying us to talk. That pay, that subs and whatever else that you're doing supports people like us, that we can
Yeah,
have candid conversations across the country. What
yeah,
we can do today and the amount of information that can be spread immediately is amazing.
yeah,
Like this is a
absolutely.
tool that can be used for such good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You're not going to get this anywhere else.
No.
You're not gonna get this on CNN. You're not gonna get this information on MS Now. You're not gonna get this anywhere. Okay, and you're certainly not gonna get our awesome personalities.
Yep.
Okay, so it's worth every penny. We still have a goal of $25, and I'm still waiting for a gift. Someone's got to do it.
Someone
Someone's got to
gifted.
be
You
the
know what's funny? What the hell?
somebody's got to do it.
What's with the 6-7 thing, anyways? So
I don't know.
it,
I
it's
really don't
everywhere.
get it.
I've had people that pop in and they 667 in your comments, like in my
Yeah,
comment,
yeah,
and it really. I know that they say it means nothing and whatever else,
yeah,
but numbers hold power. And
yeah.
what is it? Because it's flooding everything. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it is. It's just one of those weird things that took off on the internet, and nobody even remembers how it started and whatever. It's
Well,
weird. It's kind of a middle school, junior high thing, if you ask me.
but there's adults that
Um,
run around doing it.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
And Rooster
because
said
it's
he
because they
thinks
have
that
kids.
6-7 means gay.
Okay. Well,
Okay,
well,
then.
well. Well, everything means gay nowadays.
Wow.
Um, listen to this, okay? I want to make a point. I want to go back to Minnesota for a minute, and then we're going to go back to
Yep.
Iran because all eyes are on Minnesota and Iran right now.
That's the two
Um,
big ticket
yeah,
topics. Though.
yeah, and Trump is dealing with both of them,
Yep.
thankfully. But here's the deal: everybody knows the name Renee Cole Good, right?
Yep.
Everybody knows that name. I want to ask you, and I want to ask the audience right now: have you ever heard of the name America Mafalda Thayer?
I have not. I have no idea.
America Mafalda Thayer, a Minnesota resident who
Okay.
was murdered and decapitated by her boyfriend Alexis
Oh, I remember this.
Saborit in Shakopee, Minnesota. I know right where that is.
Yep.
I used to go to Valley Fair every year. Uh, Saborit was an illegal immigrant from Cuba. He was initially charged with first degree murder in connection with the killing. This happened in July 20 of 21. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
When a Minnesota resident was murdered and decapitated by an illegal immigrant in Minnesota, did Tim Walls or Jacob Fry hold a vigil, a
No,
candlelight
they
vigil?
didn't. But and the reason that I remember what you're talking about is because you brought it up. It literally was one of those punch points that just got brought up in the news and then moved on
Mm,
from.
yep,
So it's like that other gal that got murdered by a man at her work with a sledgehammer because he didn't
yep,
like her. It's
yep,
it's people like that that literally are, just little blips in our news that we forget about every single day,
yep.
which is awful, like in my opinion.
And the case gained national attention because the killer had a history of criminal behavior and attempts at deportation uh, were failed. So there's another failure of the system, and
Yep.
yet you don't see you don't see the leaders of Minnesota getting up in front of a podium and outraged about that, like they were about uh, Renee Good.
Mhm.
Let me ask you another name. I had another name in here. Where was that one?
Hey, so I'm
Uh,
gonna attention to one comment here because I'm gonna
yeah,
call
go for it.
people out. I'm gonna call them out. So Willis, when you say that we're douchebags for comparing the two, why would you say something like that? What
Yeah,
makes you feel like you need to say something hateful out there like that?
yeah.
So I'm not afraid to call you guys out. You wanna say some stuff? I'll bring the smackdown down. So it's gonna happen.
How about Victoria Eileen Harwell?
Harwell, I
Yeah,
remember the name,
Eileen
but I don't
Harwell.
remember. I don't remember what it's the exact happened. And if you tell me, I probably will remember.
Vehicular homicide. Um, She was also killed by an illegal. Um,
She wasn't the one that got killed by the truck driver, was she?
might have been. Yeah, driving while drunk,
Yeah.
undocumented immigrant. Um, yeah.
So for the guy that I just timed out, because I know you could still hear me, the hat's satire, but you were becoming rude. So you were starting to spam. His hat is satire.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna find one more here. Hang on one second.
Yeah, I'll just address people. And Canadian voice, much like the Bible, you pick and choose what fits your narrative. I mean, it's just like anything else. Everybody has their own point of view. Question people. That's okay. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to agree with us. You don't have to be here. We're
No,
having a
no,
conversation.
not at all. Yeah.
Yep.
No, we're glad you're here though. Glad you're
Yeah.
here. I love the haters. I love the people that disagree. I don't like it when they're rude, but I'm glad you're here because you know what? You might just learn something.
Maybe. Like so we're
You might just learn something. So I'm glad
I
you're here.
mean, look, we've been on for what, an hour and 15 minutes, and
Yeah.
it feels like it's flown by. Like this has
Oh,
just
I
been
know.
good
Oh, I
conversation.
know. I know. I know.
So
Okay,
I'm
how
not
about
I'm not
one?
ignoring people in my chat, but I'm watching in primary one. So hello to everybody that's watching over there too.
It's all good. And
My
if
wife's
you
got
want,
that chat.
there you go. Awesome. And if you want me to read your comment or question live on the show, super chats are the way to go. We got 38 jewels in here. We still got 43 people, 36 likes. And come on, people, $0. Come on. Like just $2 would make a big difference tonight. $2 really would. So
Yep.
who's gonna be the one? Who's gonna be the one to make a difference tonight? But I wanna ask you about one more name. Cowboy, how about this
Yep.
one? Hallie Helgeson. Hallie Helgeson, 18-year-old
Okay.
Minnesota resident, an active member of Salem Lutheran Church. I know where that is.
Okay.
She was she and her boyfriend were killed in a head-on collision in Wisconsin when their vehicle was struck by a drunk driver going the wrong way on the highway. The suspect, according to reporting tied to the Department of Homeland Security summaries, the other driver was a Honduran national who
Yep.
was undocumented at the time of the crash. They both
You
they
know,
both died.
and that's awful. But the narrative that we're saying here, so like, I'm awful with names. I do my best. It's like when you start talking about the story, and then I'm like, I remember this.
Yep.
So it's such a weird correlation that a lot of these people are literally getting drunk behind the wheel. They can't read the
Yep.
signs that they're driving on,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's it. Like,
Yep.
why are you here? If we follow the rule of the law of the land here, you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't have been here. Those people should be alive. You should be alive. You
Exactly.
know what I mean? And that's
Exactly.
awful.
Exactly. And that's why we have laws. That's why we have immigration laws. That's why we have a border. This is
Absolutely.
why we don't allow just anybody to come in here. People that can't read English should not be driving semi trucks because they can't read the
No,
signs. I mean, this
absolutely
is
not.
common sense, people. Common sense. And if people want to come here, that's fine. Do it the legal way, all right? But
Absolutely.
here's the thing: we have to start asking questions like, um, what are your intentions? What are you going to do when you get here? Do you have a way to support yourself? Do you have a career? Do
Absolutely.
you have a trade? Are you going to come here and learn English and assimilate into our culture, or are you going to stick with your own people and never learn the language? And you don't want to really become an American, you know? You just want to live here and live off the system.
That
Well,
and you're completely 100% right. Is assimilation to our culture and stuff. That
yeah,
car dumpling guy, the comment there, I have to address that because my neck is red and my collar's blue. That is funny as
that's
hell because
awesome.
I say that to my
That's
wife all the time because of those
that's
the
awesome.
TikToks and the shorts and stuff. That is funny. I 100% appreciate that comment. 100%.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
what is racist? What did we say there that is racist?
Yeah,
We
there's
both
nothing
agree
there
that
that's racist.
immigration should be done correctly. There's
Yeah,
nothing racist
yeah,
about that. Come
no,
through the proper ports of entries, just like most people's families did prior. They went through Ellis Island. They went through the proper channels.
yep,
And nobody needs
absolutely.
to assimilate. Then why is it that you go to Dearborn, Michigan, and all the signs are in English followed by Arabic?
No. And
That's all. There's nothing racist about that.
and their mosque call to prayer goes off at 4:30 in the morning,
Yep.
waking up all the residents. And I don't know if you've ever
And
heard that
these
before.
people are just, I mean, I have heard that, but they need to
Uh,
speak English. Yes, if you have a
Yes.
commercial driver's license, you should be able to read and speak English.
Yes. Yeah.
1000%. That's what we're talking about.
For everyone's safety.
Yeah,
Everyone's
absolutely.
safety involved. And we've already
There's
seen all the
nothing racist about
crashes.
that.
I mean, have you seen the videos of the semi truck crashing into
Where they make
four,
a
five, or
U-turn on highways and stuff.
six?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that.
This is not. This shouldn't be happening.
And Luke, you can
Yeah.
disagree with me all or both of us all day long, but it is nothing but the truth, buddy. Nothing but
Yeah,
the
and
truth.
it's preventable. That's the thing.
Yep,
All these things are preventable.
they are.
They shouldn't be happening. And it's tragedy. It's tragedy that is absolutely preventable. Okay, I just want to I'm looking on my X account here. I don't know if you follow Nick Sorter. I
I
do.
actually I don't have an X account. I don't have
Oh,
Twitter.
okay.
I've never had it. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
one
Good
thing
for
I've
you.
never had. I'm not a big social media guy.
Okay.
So I've been
Okay.
on and off Facebook, but I went
Okay.
without Facebook for like 4 years. So
I
I'm a
don't
little
blame you,
behind the
man.
times on that stuff.
Hey, dude, I'm with you. I totally get it. But
Mhm.
this guy says a federal agent was just forced to pull his firearm as rioters attacked their vehicle and blocked them from driving. Same BS they pulled with me a few days back. This guy is an independent reporter, and he got mobbed. His car got mobbed. He had to race
So
out of there.
fun fact, you want to know something? You see all these people that complain about officers drawing their weapons.
Yeah.
Federal officers actually have no rules against drawing their weapons. There's no
Wow.
rules around that. If they feel the need to
Wow.
draw their weapons, they can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
no rules against drawing their weapons for any reason. It's there for if they need it.
Yeah. And that
Yep.
makes sense because I mean, how are how are they going to do their job if they don't have the discretion that they need to do their job? They got to have discretion to do their job, and if they do something wrong, then accountability.
Yep,
They'll be
absolutely.
investigated,
And
and there'll
Rooster
be
is like,
accountability.
and I don't mean to keep cutting you off, Wes, and I just
Yeah.
keep reading these. Rooster, you're 100% correct. I don't think America will ever go back to how it was. Like there's been too much change, too much rift, and how do you heal that? Like it's unfortunate that it's neighbor on neighbor and nobody can agree. You tell somebody that you voted for Trump and you're automatically the worst thing in the world. You tell somebody you voted for Kamala, you're the worst thing in the world. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that. It's
No.
never been like that.
No. No.
It is
No.
sad.
And I talk about this. I'm old, but I remember the days when people would vote for different parties,
Yep,
and they were still friends. They talk about it.
absolutely.
One person would say I voted for Reagan. The other person would say, well, I voted for Mondale, because Mondale was from Minnesota. And they could laugh about it, and they could say, oh, that's great, because there was a general, instead of the two sides being like this, where you can't even I can't even put it on the screen. They're like as far apart
It's
as my
just the
arms
divide.
go.
I completely get where you're coming from,
Yeah,
100%.
back then it was like this, and honestly, you could look as a conservative, okay, as a conservative and a
Yep,
Republican, you could look at a Democrat and say, you know what, I truly believe that they love their country and they want what's best for the
yep,
United States of America, and they just have a different idea of how to go about it. And I disagree with it. But they love their country. They want what's best. They have the best interests of the country in mind. They just have a
yep,
different way of wanting to go about it. Nowadays, and a Democrat could say the same about a Republican. A Democrat could say, I don't agree. I voted for
yep,
the other party, but I can genuinely say I know you have the best interests of the country at heart. You want what's best. You just have a different philosophy of how to get there, and we can
yep,
still be friends. And the differences aren't that far away, right?
yep.
Not anymore.
And hate does waste your time. So, is somebody said in here, hate wastes your time?
Yeah,
It truly
I
does,
agree.
and that
I
I can
agree with that.
absolutely agree with that
Yeah, we have a
because look
lot
at
of people wasting their time in here right now.
and I see it all the time. Says the guy with the king. Luke, we address this. It's satire. It's there
Yeah.
for you to address it. It literally is. That's why it's there. I don't
Yep.
suggest wearing something like that in Minneapolis,
No.
but it's there as satire, guy.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's we are against kings. We haven't Our no kings was 1776.
That's right.
That was
That's
our
right.
no
Look at
kings.
this. Look at this. Well, you can't see it that great because my background, but
Yeah,
this was the original No Kings document right here, 1776.
absolutely. Those
Right?
men that signed that document were true treasonous. They knew what they were getting
Yeah.
into,
Yeah.
and they were under the threat of death, and they still did it. Give
That's
me
right.
liberty or give me death.
That's
They
right.
came together under one banner. That's
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 right.
what that was. They
That's
went
right.
against their own country.
Yep.
And Charlie, you can love Trump. You can hate him, you can love him. That's amazing. Like that's your option. And that's what I love about like this conversation we're having because you can tell the differences between us. And that's
No.
okay. That doesn't stop anything. I agree a lot with what you're saying. You
No.
know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm looking at a live feed or close to live of
Yep.
Minneapolis right now. It says the leftists are smashing and ambushing federal vehicles in Minneapolis.
Great.
We need we need the Insurrection Act now. The Minneapolis police have received the stand down order,
Yep.
and these men need backup. They need backup, man.
Absolutely. And here's the thing is if but the problem is it's gonna rise tensions is what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
moment we see armored vehicles going down our streets with the Marines or whoever it may be, unfortunately, there are gonna people that are gonna take it as a challenge and they're gonna bring it up. And you
Mhm.
want to say somebody, oh, they had real bullets?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like they're not gonna play around.
No.
Is that is some scary stuff. Like we
Yeah.
shouldn't need to be like that. And
No.
that is my opinion. Like we should come together and
I
fix
agree.
it the right way.
I completely agree, my friend. I do think it's sad and funny. If it wasn't so sad, it would be funny. But
Yeah.
this idea, though, to me, Cowboy, that these people, these leftists, that are there, I'm watching them right now on my screen that are,
Yeah.
attacking these vehicles and doing all this terrible stuff, and even if they manage to injure or God forbid kill an ICE agent, the thing that gets me is they're not going to be able to beat the federal government. I
No, they're
don't
not.
care.
So this
You
is what caused the surge is all this talking. Like originally it was normal business. ICE was here doing their thing with Border
Yeah,
Patrol. And it
yeah.
wasn't until the talks of challenging the federal government, they were
Mhm.
like, okay, now it's time to bring the hammer down. At the end of the day, our state government does report to the federal government.
That's
At
right.
the end of the
And
day, we are constitutional republic.
there's something called the supremacy clause of the Constitution. A
Yep.
state and local government is not above the federal government. This is why we have a federalist system, and this is what our founding
So
fathers they understood. We had to have, and they debated it back and forth a lot because they went back and forth. Is it good for us to have a centralized federal government or not?
So, Weston,
Yeah,
there's another comment here that I want to address. So,
yes,
Sheepster
please.
said there's civil war brewing. So, what people don't realize of what they're asking for, the people like, and I caught a video of this on my YouTube of that man that was screaming to go get weapons and come back.
Yeah, I saw
We
that.
don't know what they're asking for. Most
No,
people, it is nothing like it was back then.
no,
It'll be in our backyards. It'll be family members. That is so awful to even think about. If
yes,
we get to a point where we're that fractured, our enemies are watching this too.
yeah,
Like, you gotta remember that China, they're not our friends. Russia's not our
no,
friends. They're
no,
watching what's happening in the civil discourse that's happening in our country.
yeah,
You don't think they're gonna take advantage of that?
yeah. And if you don't think they're somewhat behind it, because they love seeing this.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't know what they're thinking. The leftists, I don't know what they're thinking. They don't have the manpower, the training, the equipment. They cannot take on the federal government. I don't care what they think. They're not going to
No.
win. So it's just going to be a brutal, bloody battle if that's what they want. I mean, if that's what they're asking for, they're asking
It's
for it.
it's gonna be awful. And
It's going to be
and
bad,
Sheepster,
and they're
I'm
not
gonna
going to
ask
win.
him. So he said the world are laughing at you. Sheepster, where are you watching from? I'm very curious. So I'm
Oh,
gonna ask one thing in your chat right now. You got 69 people that I can see. I
yeah,
want to see a sound off. I want to see people where they're watching from. List
yeah,
out because I'm very curious.
yeah.
Like it,
I'd love to see that.
I did that earlier on my live chat. Look, you got Australia right there.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I did this earlier on my chat when I had 150 plus people, and it was amazing to see all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. I mean, here at the Gold Standard, we are an international audience, and we always have been.
Yeah.
So yeah. And
In
you know the
Canada, Central
yeah.
California,
Oh yeah, man. Oh
amazing.
yeah, definitely.
Venezuela, I
Um
think that's just being funny, but
yeah.
no,
No, I always ask if people care to share, let me know where you're coming from, city, state, country.
yeah,
Um,
and that's amazing.
I love it.
So,
But
Minneapolis mayor called for his city's cops to fight federal agents is insane. Dude is
yeah,
seditious. That
yeah,
is absolutely
that
the
is
term of the
sedition.
Insurrection Act. That is what that's for.
Exactly. Exactly
Yeah,
right.
and they're asking
And
for it.
yeah, and he's been hinting at it, and then he just kind of just came right out and said it
Yep.
here recently. But Cowboy, I want to talk about Iran. I want to come back to Iran for a second. I'm looking on the New York Post website, and I don't know if you'd heard about how supposedly Trump was told that the killing had stopped,
That's
the
what I did hear. I did hear
massacre,
that.
and all that kind of stuff. And this is an article stating that there is a disturbing reason that Iran appears to have stopped slaughtering protesters. And I want to read this to you and get your
Sure.
reaction. It says, the ruthless slaughter of anti government protesters in Iran appears to have stopped, but only because residents are being held hostage in their homes by machine gun wielding security forces that have flooded the streets.
See, now you're also talking about a group of people that don't have the Second Amendment. So they
Exactly.
do not have the ability to defend yourself.
No.
And it's truly saddening to see that, but their people are rising up for very good reason.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, there was reaction when Trump returned to the White House. There was something waiting for him on his desk, and he didn't release what it was. But there's a very real option for a strike on Iran.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to see that because Iran's part of, and I don't, forgive me, but I don't remember what the new, access power's name is. I know there's a
Oh,
name for it, but I can't remember what it is. But
oh,
you're talking
yeah.
about Iran, China, Russia, and all them guys that got together and they signed this agreement of
Yeah.
defense. And
Yeah.
if somebody remembers what that is, and they could put it in either chat, and I'll see it because I am curious because I don't remember.
Yeah.
Um,
I know
but
what you're talking about, though.
it's truly a scary thing. Is what's happening all over the world is we've got proxy wars that are happening all the time. BRICS, is that what it is? BRICS.
Might be.
And
Well, that's Brazil, Russia, India, China. I forget what the S stands for, but yeah, that might be it.
yeah, so I can't remember, but I know that Iran was a part of that whole thing too.
Mm.
So,
No.
and yes, we should be America first. I agree with
Yeah.
that. Is
Hmm.
like the Venezuela thing. Yes, we took down a dictator.
Hmm.
I don't agree with the fact that we took over the country. The fact that Trump
Hmm.
said that he's going to rule their country for a little while and take control of some barrels of oil and stuff like that. Even if they owe the United States money, it's
Yeah.
a weird way to go about it because it feels like a conquering. And I think that I'm trying to think of the word coming up here is empirism and like back before that's what we're starting to
Imperialism.
see with imperialism. That's the
Yeah.
word. Thank you.
Yeah. Hmm.
So do you either you have a problem with meddling in foreign countries such as Venezuela? I literally just talked about that. That Noel or Nolan, I actually just addressed all that, but thank you.
Mm.
So, and I don't agree with it. And it's like the same thing as Iraq and stuff like that. We spent a lot of time there. I knew a lot of friends that were in high school that went there.
Yeah.
It's it was already proven that we went into Iraq under bad pretenses.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
something that's not really spoken about, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and every situation's different. I mean, going in and extracting a really bad guy who was
Yep.
doing really bad things in our own backyard to me is a little different than in quote unquote invading a country or meddling with a country.
Yep.
We were liberating those people from a really, really bad guy, and it's not for oil. I know that's what the left loves to say. It's all about oil. Well, I mean, it is somewhat about oil, but it's about oil for the people of Venezuela so that they can become rich again because they used to be one of the richest countries in the world. They were the richest country in South America.
Yep. And
And
then
well,
Maduro ruined their economy.
yeah, he ruined it. I mean, that
Yep.
country has the largest supply of known um, what's it called? Not known, but sure, whatever the word for sure is, proven, I guess is the
Yep.
right word. The
And Luke,
largest
I'm gonna cut you off one more time because I just got
proven
called a
oil.
liar. Either one of us did. Luke, what do you mean? What did we say here that we're lying about?
Yeah,
Again, it's a conversation between two people,
yeah,
and you guys are invited to be a part of this. This is
yeah,
what this is. It is
yeah.
his show, and I'm hosting my own, and we're
Exactly.
doing our thing.
Yeah.
So
Why would we lie to each other? Either, I mean, I
No,
don't. What would
this
we
is just candid
benefit from
conversation.
lying to each other? I don't get that.
Yep.
Hey, we just
I
got
see you
another
got a
gift.
gift. Yeah, that's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah, we're up to 39. Who's going to give us $2 just like to say, hey, we support your work, we support your mission. Keep going. We believe in you. Makes a huge difference. But there's no pressure whatsoever. We're just glad you're here. And the subscribing is the most important thing. Sharing, liking, subscribing. Throw
Oh,
us some
yeah,
likes.
subscribing is free. Like that's
Makes
the
a
thing.
big deal.
Subscribing is free.
Yeah, it's totally free. Back to Iran here for a second, then feel free to
Yep.
interrupt me with comments, Cowboy.
Gotcha.
It says after weeks of anti-regime protests across Iran left thousands dead, the mass mobilization of security forces has suppressed the demonstrations, with many too afraid to step foot outside
Yep.
now. And then it says there were tanks out. There were tanks everywhere. A source told the Post after speaking to a family in Tehran about the current situation. So they're bringing out the big guns now, and they're intimidating the people
Yep.
to try to, smash down this uprising. And somebody says there are no protests anymore because massive killings. With 12,000 dead, people are terrified.
So 6 Jan 21 left a comment there saying, "Who cares about Iran?"
Oh,
Here's the thing: we're all human beings. We're a human race. We
yeah.
should care about what's going on in the
Amen.
world. That's
Amen.
at the end of the day, we are all human beings.
Yeah.
You can be
Any
rude if you want. You're
atrocity.
free to, like, but whatever else. But atrocities like that shouldn't happen. We
No,
live in the 21st century. That's the
exactly.
big thing that we are looking at right now. Is we live in the 21st century, and nobody should be killed for their opinion.
No,
Nobody.
absolutely not. And, I say the same thing about our own country. This is not how we solve our problems and conflicts.
Yep.
We, we're not a third world. We're not Iran. We're civilized human beings who know how to disagree with one another and solve our differences in a civilized, organized way. That's why we have democracy. That's why we have a constitution. So if people think they're going to solve their issues or their differences with violence,
Yep.
that's not right.
No, it's unfortunate though, is that's the way some people think. Like it's
Yeah.
I think we're just programmed. Like at the end of the day, like I've seen somebody say, we are animals at the end of the day. So it's
Yeah.
but reasoning has to go above that kind of stuff. Like the fact that you're killing other people like that.
Yeah.
So and there's people I seen Rich. There was somebody that was talking to my conversation. I seen that you were there, but I was letting him talk before I said hello. So you've got a couple people that have bounced back and forth between the two, which is really awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And Jam 6, this is we're technically we're a democratic republic, so we're a constitutional republic.
Yeah.
So not a true democracy, but
No.
and you can
No.
thank the French for that one.
In
So
fact, yeah, and in fact, our founding fathers were very, very wary of democracy. So when Democrats say
Rich.
it's a threat to democracy, it's a threat to democracy, I'm like, yeah, our founding fathers found that whole concept of democracy offensive. Actually,
Yep.
if you really want to know, because you know what democracy is? Mob rule.
And that's
Mob
also it brings to
rule.
another good point of you want to talk about like the what am I trying to say here? Well, it's getting late now. I'm trying to remember what I'm saying here. So
It's all good.
the voting system we have here. So it's why can I not think of this
Electoral
thing?
college.
Electoral college.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's just slipped away from me, and I don't know why. But
Trust me, I understand.
if we didn't have that again, mob rule, there would be
Yeah.
major cities across the United States that would
Yeah.
have the say in every one of our votes.
Yeah. I
So
mean, our elections would be determined by the largest cities in the largest states.
and
And
six
that would mean,
Jan again, are we good about attacking Greenland? No. So
no,
that is also like I understand the reasoning behind it, but I don't agree with invading another nation like that. So I know I
it's not going
guess
to happen. It's not going to
no.
happen. It's going to be done, in a very organized, civilized, diplomatic way. There's probably going to be some money involved,
Oh yeah.
and the people of Greenland are going to have their say. It's all going to be done very above board, just like how we
And
purchased
Mover Bob,
Alaska.
I know
Huh?
the history. I know history very well. Mover Bob 7409 just said two guys that don't know history. That's why we're a representative democracy. No, no, we're not. So good try, pal. Go Google it. Go Google it. It's easy. You have all the information at the tip of your fingers. You are holding more computing power in your hand than we use to go to the frickin' moon.
That's right. That
Bingo.
is exactly right. Yep. There's something called Google. It
Yeah,
works really well. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, yours truly has a college degree.
I don't. I've been very successful without one. I was a
Exactly.
manager for a
Well,
major,
you were
like the
smart.
biggest security company in the Twin Cities for 15 years, and all I did was talk and negotiate contracts, that kind of stuff. So
Hey,
I made it very far without one.
hey,
As like Charlie Kirk would say, why? Some people need it
exactly.
for certain positions, but you don't
Right.
need one.
Well, and so here's the proof right here of who the smarter person is. And that's Cowboy, because he was smart enough not to waste his time and money to go to college.
No, and that's yeah, hold on. I didn't say that, Weston. You should be proud that you did that. It is not a waste of money. It is an accomplishment in its own. I will not talk
Well,
down on somebody
that's
that
kind of
actually
you.
has a college education. So, yeah,
That's very gracious of you. Thank you.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and this is a good comment here. You supported Israel murdering Gaza, but concerned about the lives in Iran. When did we talk about Gaza? Did we talk? We've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes. Did we
Yeah.
ever talk about Gaza once?
I have not said the word Gaza this entire live stream. I don't think you have
No,
either.
no, I've never said it. So,
I mean, if I
college
did,
is important so
I sure
nobody
don't
ends up
remember.
like MAGA. Okay, because you want to be programmed at a liberal school like that.
Yeah,
Keep going, buddy. Keep going.
exactly. Exactly.
So,
Well,
somebody
I
on
went
my
to,
comment there said that Iran was civilized before Islam.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
a touchy comment too, though. Like
that's
it's
interesting.
yeah,
Depends on
yep,
what you mean by that. But,
yep.
I know that I'll say this. Um, my understanding, and I haven't studied this extensively, so I'm sure someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But my understanding is that Iran is basically ancient Persia, and that or that empire.
Yep.
Whoa, you want to talk about a history? That was a
Oh yeah.
very powerful empire for a very long time. And prior to the Islamic regime that took over in 1979, when they took our American hostages, that was a whole different country. That
Yeah,
was
it was a different ball game. And Luke,
totally different
yeah,
country.
I got a little triggered. I'll give you that, buddy. I will be the first to admit when I'm a little bit of an asshole. I'm sorry. So we can agree to disagree. And how about that? I won't be rude to you, buddy. Like you are more than welcome to ask questions, whatever else. We all have our own opinions.
Yeah,
Hey, that's just what it is. So, and yes, there are some schools that do program people, and that shouldn't be like that. They
yeah.
shouldn't
Well,
push
let me put it.
education
Let
like
me
that.
let me address that for just 1 second.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
who knows? Ooh, I got it right here too. Who knows? Who knows anything about Yale and Harvard and how they started and what they were like when they started? Does anybody here know anything about Yale and Harvard?
Hey, one
And
piece
what?
of thing I don't know anything about.
Okay. So I'm going to share something with you that is very fascinating to me that most people don't know. Most people don't know. So just hang with me for just a minute here. I'm going to find it. Um, hang tight. Because there's a lot of interesting stuff in here about Yale and Harvard. Yale and Harvard. And I just want to say real quickly, along with that, um, the thing is, the whole concept of the university was the exploration of ideas. So
Yep.
the whole concept of college and the university was the universe of ideas. Let's be open to all ideas. There's kind of like when back in the olden days,
Yep.
when you would do a brainstorming session and you would say, there's no such thing as a bad idea. No idea is a bad idea. Let's put every idea up there on the board and we'll thin them out later when we continue the process and we get to what we want.
Yep.
But the idea was no idea is a bad idea. Every idea is welcome.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's the whole concept of the university. You go to college, you go to the university for the sole reason of learning and being exposed to all ideas and everything. right? That
Yep.
was the original concept of the university. That's where the word comes from, the universe of ideas. And now that's not the case anymore. Now we have one idea, and
Yep.
everybody has to conform to the group think
Yep.
and the liberal agenda. And if you don't, then you are out. You are
So,
out.
and Weston, we're at the point where so an hour and 45 minutes in, and it's getting to the point where I've got to call. It's getting late here, but what I'm going to say is, what Charlie Kirk and a lot of these people said is Stephen Crowder and all these people said after the passing of Charlie Kirk, you got to pick up the bloody mic, because when people
Yeah.
stop talking, and this is addressing all the people that even hate us,
Mhm.
is when people stop talking and having conversations like you and I have been having, that's when
Yep.
bad things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I
Yep.
found what I wanted to read here, and then we can kind of um, start to close it off here. But listen to this. Listen to this. The early motto of Harvard was Veritas Christo et Ecclesiae, which
Okay.
means truth for Christ and the church. This motto has been abandoned in favor of the shortened version, just Veritas, which is truth. So listen to this. Um, this is so funny. Um, the uh, the original um, the original handbook of
Yep.
Harvard said this: "Let every student be plainly instructed and earnestly pressed to consider well the main end of his life and his studies is to know God and Jesus Christ, which is eternal life." John 17:3. And therefore lay Christ at the bottom as the only foundation of all sound knowledge and learning, not leering.
Yep.
In seeing the Lord only giveth wisdom, let every one seriously set himself by prayer in secret to seek it of him. Proverbs 2:3. So Harvard was started as a Christian college.
Amen.
It was started by John Eliot uh, as the apostle to the Indians. First proposed a college for Massachusetts Bay in 1633. Eliot's desires were realized 3 years later with the founding of Harvard College. Harvard was named after John Harvard, who donated his library to the fledgling institution and thus secured for himself a name in history. The founders of Harvard wanted the Christian legacy they brought with them from England to continue. One of the best ways to accomplish this was to train ministers, the primary educators to the colonies. The following explanation, taken from New England's First Fruits in 1643, describes what led to the founding of Harvard College. After God had carried us safe to New England, and we had builded our houses, provided necessaries for our livelihood, reared convenient places for God's worship, and settled the civil government, one of the next things we longed for and looked for was to advance learning and perpetuate it into posterity, dreading to leave an illiterate ministry to the churches when our present ministers shall die in the dust. What does
Yep.
that tell you about what Harvard was all about when it started?
There's a lot of things that people don't realize that are Christianly based. Like, it
Exactly.
unfortunately, a lot of things is, and like even in our own country, is Christ was removed from a lot of things,
That's
and
right.
it's really really sad. And Luke, I seen what you said there is that you wouldn't associate with us. We have never at one point really attacked anybody in this chat or whatever else. We've had a conversation. I had Rich. He popped back over into my chat here, which I'm sorry I haven't been totally paying attention to because I've been wrapped in our conversation. But he said that he popped back over to my chat because a lot of people on this one were super offended by what we're talking about. Um, at one point, like, what have we done to offend
Wow.
everybody? So it's,
Wow.
I don't get that. And I really,
Yeah.
and the people that are watching, you've got 32 people watching yours, and I've had
Yeah.
like a group popping in and out of mine. But I would like to see maybe this become a regular thing, is have a couple hour conversation about what's going on in the world, because this has been
Yeah.
amazing.
Well,
Like,
and that's the thing is, this is why we always say here at the Gold Standard, we talk about the two things that you're not supposed to talk about, politics and religion. But
yep,
those are the two things that matter. So that's why I always say this is a place where you can actually talk about things that actually matter. Now, we're not talking
yep,
about the weather, we're not talking about sports, we're not talking about whatever, video games or whatever. I mean, these are distractions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this
I
is
love
why
them.
the
I play a lot of games on my channel too, so don't
yeah,
judge me on that one.
and there's
So,
nothing wrong with that. I like video games too, which we got to talk
yep,
about one of these days. But the point is, these end up being distractions from what really matter. And if you never talk about what's really important because you're distracted by these other things that
yep,
don't really matter in the big scheme of things, then you never learn, you never get anywhere, and you never understand who you are, where you're
yep.
going, and what life is all about.
Absolutely. And honestly, and people that are in your chat that are enjoying what we're talking about, would you like to see this be a weekly thing? Like,
Yeah,
I'm very curious because this has been
yeah,
honestly a great conversation. So if you guys
absolutely.
want to see it, let me know. Like, let us know, and we'll come up with a schedule and we'll find a time to do this.
Absolutely, absolutely, yep.
So
I wanna
and somebody said they can't take you seriously in your hat again. The whole satire thing being
yeah,
triggered. I love it. I
yeah,
absolutely love it. I might need one. So just
yeah,
so you know, I might need to get one.
we'll talk,
Yeah,
definitely.
we'll talk.
The thing I love about the hat is that it gives the people in the chat something to talk about.
And that's exactly it. It is a troll thing.
That's
So,
all it is.
and somebody said that we're real fellas and we're just having conversations, and I love that.
Yeah,
And please be or please be more morally consistent. The matter more the degrees or qualifications. That does matter more than degrees or qualifications. So I actually 100% agree with that, John Doe. That is a good comment to say. And I believe that we're moral here because I said I agree with immigration the correct way and all this and that. So it's been really good.
yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, this is your last call. We're gonna close things off here. I just wanna mention one last time that if the gold standard here, if this conversation has brought you value, clarity, encouragement, perspective, then hey, show your support for this work because I truly believe that we will save Western civilization. And
Yep.
by the way, Cowboy, I'm writing another book now
That's amazing.
that I'm really excited about. I just had one come out today about taking back the rainbow, which I don't want to get into too much right now, but we're gonna make the rainbow great again. All right. Another triggering hat,
And that's it
and
too. So and somebody said that trolling is not engaging. Is at one point, what is he trolled on that? He's wearing the hat. Who cares? I'm
yeah,
wearing a hat. Does this
yeah,
offend you?
yeah. There you
Like,
go. Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well, the cross is offensive according to Scripture, so you
yeah,
know there's something to be said for that. But hey, I just want to encourage people. This is your last call for jewels, gifts, super chats, super thanks. If you're watching this in replay, super chat, super thanks is really huge for us. It keeps us going. It keeps this conversation moving, and it keeps just two regular guys talking about things that matter. Whether you agree or disagree, this is a valuable conversation, and we want to keep it going. So,
and
thank you all for being here. It's huge.
I have another comment about the rainbow thing. So I keep saying that somebody
Oh
said the
yeah,
rainbow is great. Is
yeah,
most people don't understand what the true meaning of the rainbow is. Like
exactly,
that's the big thing. Is if you don't know what it is, I encourage you to go look up what the actual true meaning of the rainbow is.
exactly,
Before it
absolutely.
was taken over by a different group,
Yep,
what was the true meaning of the rainbow and
yep,
carry the cross? That's our cross to bear. I am a Christian. I will
yep,
be the first one to say it out there. I may have a mouth on me. I may use
yep,
language.
yep,
I may offend people, but I'm sorry. I'm not
yep,
perfect. I am not
yep.
Christ.
No,
But we try.
yep.
It just popped in out.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Cowboy, I lost your audio there for a second. Are
Yeah,
you
it
still
flickered
there?
in and out for me too just now.
Oh, that's weird.
Can you still not
Huh.
hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, but I can barely hear you. I don't know what happened there.
I don't
But
know. It flickered.
this is probably a great time to close it off here.
Yep.
Hey, somebody says your opinion is valid, Cowboy,
Thank
and
you.
I
Like,
totally 100% agree with that. Thank you for
well,
sharing that.
absolutely, Weston. Thank you. And again, like I said, for people that have popped in and out, and I'm going to end it with a verse: is whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. First Corinthians.
Amen.
Like it's that again, as you'll see that a lot in my lives and whatever else above my head, because I truly feel like that is to
Yeah,
put forth glory to everything to God first.
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? We're
Sure.
not perfect. Neither one of us are perfect. We
Yeah,
just like to talk and share our opinion.
we're just having fun.
And we're welcome to our opinion, and you're welcome to your opinion,
And thank you. And
And
like I said, I would wholeheartedly agree to people subscribing to your channel. Is if you haven't followed the gold standard, do it. Come over, follow me too. We'll
Yeah,
have these conversations, and
definitely.
whatever else is protest ice for the glory of God. Luke, that's your opinion.
Yeah,
Like that's okay, and like that's what we're here for.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
do
go
it.
ahead and do your closing.
Yeah, all I say is do it peacefully there, Luke. And be careful out there if you're going to do that, okay? But that's your right to protest. But protesting does not mean attacking or harming or being violent. So
Yep.
please be careful and please be peaceful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Cowboy, this has been phenomenal. Thank you so much. You were amazing. And as my very first guest on the Gold Standard, that is a huge honor and a privilege. And it was a huge honor and a huge privilege for me to have you. And I think this conversation was amazing. So thank you.
Me too. I feel like it was very great. And Rich, thanks. We all had fun here. Like there are a lot of people that hate it, but awesome. Thank you for having me. And like I said, maybe we can make this a weekly thing and do a little
Absolutely.
podcast. So 2 hours flew by like you wouldn't believe.
Totally. Totally.
Yep.
All right, my friend. Well, you get some rest, get some sleep, and hope you sleep well.
Sounds good,
Sweet
sir.
dreams. And to everybody else out there, to the lovers, to the haters, to the patriots, to the anarchists, to everybody out there, we love you and we wish you all the best. We wish you nothing but love, peace, prosperity, joy, and everything that's good in your life. And God loves you. Stay bold,
Absolutely.
stay gold. We'll see you
Amen.
next time.
I'm still here, Cap. What'd you think of that, buddy? I may not have any video up, but what'd you think of that? Maybe I'll flip on my camera here for a second. Oh, my mouse is turned off. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Where is my camera? File, image, desktop audio, video capture device. And we're going to deactivate, activate. All right. Why aren't you working? Okay. Well, maybe not. I'm having technical difficulties, I think. I'm trying, but it don't like me. Deactivate, activate. Oh, there I am. Where the hell? I'm trying. There I am. I'm poking out. I'm hiding. So yeah, thank you guys. So whoever stuck with me for that whole thing, and yeah, no, I'm glad you liked it, Cap, and maybe we'll make that a regular thing because that was 2 hours through that whole stream, which I appreciated Weston's time and doing all that. So that was really good. So we obviously have different views on certain things, and but we had fun. I think that was a very very well done production. So 2 hours flew by, and people that stuck with that entire time, thank you guys. I'm gonna call it there, and you guys have a good night, Cap. I'm catch you on the flip side. All right, have a good one, buddy.